everyone. My name is Emmanuel Barbiak, and I am the founder and president of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. I created GRCAM back in 1991 on a site called Gopher in order to connect with other like-minded individuals who are interested in networking with me in order to gather support for my cause, which is help stop the genocide in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. GRCAM is a virtual Christian socialist organization. A Christian socialist is a form of socialism based on the teachings of Jesus. Many Christian socialists believe that capitalism is idolatrous and rooted in greed, social inequality, and institutionalized racism, which most Christian denominations consider a moral sin. We will focus on what we stand for, which is love, compassion, social justice, and liberation theology. Jesus commanded us to be witness to others, not just for us to read his word, but to activate social change in the world, according to Luke chapter 4, verse 18 through 19. We will be committed to the healing ministry of Jesus by showing compassion to inner city youth and their families, which will promote dignity to the people and the community we will serve. In April, I launched an event on Blog Talk Radio entitled My Urban Revival Series. The theme, Our Inner City Youth Matters, Restoring Kingdom Commitment, based on Matthew chapter 6, verse 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. The purpose of this event was for me to gather authentic Christians from my friends list to be guest speakers on my show and share the word of God to my listeners in the podcast community. On April 27th, Blog Talk Radio informed me that I would need to start paying to continue using their site as a platform to promote my cause and my revised book. Since my book is barely selling, I decided to decline using Blog Talk Radio. The only thing which is preventing me from starting my Christian organization is the lack of manpower and the capital. This is why I turned to social media to get my message out to the public through my YouTube videos, my social groups, my blog postings, my Blog Talk Radio show, and now my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition, which is available on Amazon.com. I provide a link to my book under the comment section of this video. In my book, I offer a 21st century strategy about what my organization would do to help reduce urban violence while at the same time improve our inner cities in America, starting in Chicago. I assist people on my friends list and people in my social groups who have exchanged emails with me with creating basic websites. I teach people how to create podcasts, webinars. I also offer a platform for people to promote their products and services. I assist others with finding college scholarships, grants, housing, legal services, all for free. I hold free weekly webinars on Facebook Messenger, Google Plus Hangouts, and on Skype. All I ask is that they support me by purchasing my revised book and sharing my book information with their family, friends, place of worship, and also at their local community center. This year, 2017, I'm looking for 10 individuals within the United States who have read my story and meet the qualifications that I'm looking for, which are as follows. I'm looking for investors, business partners, Christian entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists who will work with me in setting up and starting my nonprofit and my for-profit Christian organization as mentioned in my revised book. I have my business plan already prepared for both my nonprofit and my for-profit. Tonight, my presentation is based on the campaign slogan, Make America Great Again, which was used by candidate Donald Trump during the election of 2016. America is unrivaled as the world's solar power. It has the world's largest economy, advances in science, agriculture, and technology. American military can project its power anywhere in the world to influence policy, wage war, and assist with humanitarian relief. The world still looks to America for leadership in defending freedom, promoting humanitarian causes. America is a great nation, not due to its own efforts, but from a spiritual perspective, God allowed it to be great. America is great not because of any innate goodness of its people, but because it inherited the blessings God made with Abraham. No president, no current or future, determines the ultimate destiny for the United States. When God removed his blessings and protection from his land, the world will enter a darker and more dangerous time. I love America, and I pray for our president and other leaders. But unless there is a huge change, America's future will not be great, but instead a great tragedy. For example, cultural changes in America are undermining traditional moral teachings about family, sexuality, and gender. Failure to live by God's law is at the heart of America's growing problems that threaten its very survival. Several books in the Bible describes the blessings from God on a nation for obedience and the curses that result from disobedience. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, Leviticus, chapter 26, and Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 34. America is great, is still great nation, but it suffers from internal problems that, if not dealt with, will eventually lead to having either the character nor the will to exercise its leadership in global affairs. America must first face the truth that it has ignored God's, who made it wealthy and powerful. As mentioned in my revised book, the decline of moral values started in 1962. The Supreme Court outlawed prayer in public schools. The next year, the court banned Bible readings in public schools as well. Then racial tensions in the mid-60s. A decade of social upheaval and the sexual revolution. Then the court again made a landmark ruling, legalizing abortion, the murder of the unborn babies in 1973. Since then, almost 60 million abortions have been carried out in this country, with an entire generation of children denied the right to life. In 2015, the Supreme Court recognized same-sex marriage as legitimate. Through these court rulings, America has removed God from public education, from the room, and from the sanctity of institution of marriage. Our society is rolling back the true knowledge of the God of Abraham. This is why we see so much suffering in the world. People living in war zone areas, famine, pestilence, pestilence, poverty, violence, institutionalized racism and police brutality, and spiritual deception. The rise of radical Islam threatens the current geopolitical order as nations react to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. The masses immigration by war in the Middle East. The only way for America to remain great is by returning back to God and His laws. While America may not make that connection, you can. We are living in the end times. Are you willing to hear God's warning and turn to Him to change your life? In contrast, why is there such a great divide in Black America today? For 25 years, established Black organizations in my city have rejected my ideas about improving our inner cities, from the Chicago Urban League, Operation Push, the Chicago West Side and South Side branch of the NAACP, and Ghana National Council of Chicago. As a result, since 2001, over 4,000 people has been killed in Chicago alone, making it the current murder capital in America. The question remains, why such resistance to something so positive for the African American community? As I mentioned in my revised book, it boils down to this Willie Lynch mentality within the Black culture. All of these marches and protests have not changed the criminal justice system, from the case of Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Eric Gardner, Arlington Sterling, and so many others, just to name a few. It does not matter which social class you belong to. It does not matter what religion you belong to, Black Christians or Black Muslims, or which political party you are affiliated with. If you cross paths with a road cop, one wrong move, you may end up dead. And that's real. Because Black America has rejected my vision, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has given me, I have decided to narrow my focus to 10 cities within 10 states in America. My focus would be on Chicago, Gary, Milwaukee, Detroit, Minnesota, Missouri, Memphis, Baton Rouge, and Dallas, and Baltimore. Those are the cities I am willing to get this organization started once I'm able to get it started here in Chicago first. Once the Lord bless me with either my management team or the capital from my book sale, then I will start the Grassroots Community Activist Institute. And we're going to incorporate all the ideas that I've written in my book and put those ideas into action. We will offer private employment to our clients and members based on our budget and sponsorship. In time, we will offer a second chance program for ex-offenders, former gang members, and homeless individuals. It's my hope to make Chicago a model first before we expand to other cities within the United States. I also want to build alliances with African immigrants, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Caribbeans, non-Black sympathizers, as well as all Christian denominations. I extend my hand to moderate Muslims if they want to be a part of this, to work with us as it pertains to fighting for social justice and improving our communities. I also include secular people who are interested in working with me and turning my vision into a reality. It's my hope that GRCAM will become the hub in the Midwest for emerging artists and upcoming Black entrepreneurs. Once we're established in America, I plan on having African immigrants in America to assist me in setting up chapters in 10 countries in Africa. My African brothers and sisters, I don't have another 25 years to waste. Please encourage your family members or friends from your country who reside in the United States, Canada, or Europe to read my story. The sooner I begin my organization in Chicago, the sooner we can discuss about expanding to Africa. You have my word. The church is supposed to help the poor, according to Matthew. I love Africa, and I love all African people. I pray for peace, prosperity, and the glory of God upon Africa. GRCAM is committed to growing its local business in America to gain the credibility before expanding to the motherland. We are in the process of becoming a real church. This is part of the vision I've written about in my book, which is about reaching the world through our artistic gifts and talents from people within the community. GRCAM is committed to the goal of sharing the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus Christ. There is only one truth, and that truth is of Jesus Christ. This age requires us to be conscious about examining the truth and refusing to be deceived. Under our spiritual component, we will feed our members and make sure no one goes hungry. None of our orphans will have to pay for school fees. We will go through the proper channels with the African governments to start my NGO, non-government organization. We will offer private employment to our clients and members based on our budget and sponsorship. We will provide infrastructure for clean running water, agricultural technology to feed the people, and most of all, help improve the African economy, as well as educate the people about the problems with capitalism and show them an alternative, which is GRCAM. In time, we will expand to Brazil and the Caribbean islands. Our community will be built on values of faith, community service, and stewardship. GRCAM is about making our urban communities better, healthier, and stronger. GRCAM is also about building a strong, unified global community and providing basic resources to families that want to utilize our programs and services. Our commitment is to strengthen the Black family and provide quality programs and services which will help improve the lives of our members, no matter their gender, age, race, or religion. My organization is private in order for me to weed out people who just don't care about our inner city youth, their families, or the Black community. No hardened criminals, no active gang members, no urban terrorists, no pedophiles, and no house steppers allowed in my organization. This is how I get down. GRCAM is open to all law-abiding citizens, all racial groups, and undiscovered artists. This is my contribution back to my community, society, and throughout the African diaspora. And before I close my presentation, again, my vision is based on something that's similar to Nehemiah's. God commanded Nehemiah to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. God gave me a vision about rebuilding our inner cities. But before I can do that, I have to make sure that I have my team in place and that I have the capital to pull all of this stuff off. So again, I don't ask for any donations. Instead, I ask people to read my story and share my book information, so that way I can move this my virtual organization from behind the computer and make our presence known in the inner cities of Chicago. First on the west side and then eventually on the south side of Chicago. I will screen everyone because, again, I want to make sure that people are going to be on the up and up. And I want to make sure that this is something that is going to benefit the community and people that want more out of life. Again, you don't have to be black and you don't have to live in the inner cities to be part of this organization. Again, we just want to help improve the inner cities, so that way this can make our society much better. It will help be a blessing also to the American society as well. We want to break those negative stereotypes that we see constantly in the media, and we also want to build a healthy relationship with the local police departments once we get this organization up and running. So even though it's been a long time, it's been 2 decades that I've been pushing this, and again, I'm just doing the best that I can, and this is something that I would like to be remembered for. All the hard work and effort that I've been pouring into trying to find qualified people. I was unsuccessful at that, but again, I will not lower my standards. Our goal is to help raise the bar in Black America. GRCAM is not the voice for Black America. GRCAM will be the voice for our members and the communities that we will serve. And my pledge is only for my members. Can't help everybody. Some people, don't want to be part of the solution, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. I don't want to connect with those people. I only want to connect with like-minded individuals and people that want more out of life. And I want to expand this organization to the African continent. And I just want people to understand that GRCAM is not under that red, black, and green flag. We're going to have our own flag because that red, black, and green flag has been hijacked. I'm not going to go into all of that right now. That's, will be another video. But right now, as it stands, I hold weekly free webinars. So you can connect with me on Facebook. I'm on there pretty much more. And on Google+. And again, I'll provide those links under the comment section. I ask all Christians that's watching the video, just pray for the success of my book sale. Pray that the Lord will bless me with brave and smart individuals that meet the qualifications that I'm looking for to come forth. So that way I can go ahead and do what I've been called to do, and that is to help improve our inner cities, starting here in my own city. And thank you all for watching this video. And please just read my story, and if you agree with what I'm trying to do, make yourself known to me. I provide all my contact information in the book. And before I end my presentation, I just want people to know that I hold my weekly events from Thursday evening, starting at 10 o'clock p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Central Time. I also do an extended weekend edition for busy people who are unable to participate on Thursday evenings, as well as to accommodate my international friends who live on different time zones. And those days are as follows: Friday through Sundays from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Time. But it all depends on if someone tells me that they're interested in coming on my online show, and I'll make arrangements to have them either on speaker.com or on Skype or Facebook Messenger or on Google Plus Hangouts. Those are the sources that I try to use, and I post all my information on all of my current pages as well as in my groups. You can also find me on LinkedIn and Twitter as well as WordPress. So I'm on a lot of major social networks. I try to make myself known. And again, the main cause is help stop the genocide in American ghettos. I'm serious about what I've been doing. Again, it's been 25 years. Yes, it's frustrating that I don't have much support in this area. But again, this is what the Lord has called me to do. And I'm going to be true to that calling. And once the Lord does bless me with the capital to, then I would just hire people that meet the qualifications I'm looking for instead of constantly asking people to come forth. So this is where it is right now. So the ball is in people that's on my friends list. The ball is in their court, as well as people that's in my social groups. I'm only one black man with a plan. I can't do everything. I provide, again, a 21st century strategy that no other black leader has in the United States. So take me up on my offer and work with me while I'm still alive. Don't wait till I'm deceased to, try to capitalize off of what I've been trying to do. That's not cool. But anyway, my book is the foundation of my organization. The reason I keep saying my organization because my creator has given it to me, and I claim ownership. So, thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and I hope that you will read my story so that way you can understand the plan in detail. Peace and blessings.